Basic earnings per share. We have Lion Company shows the following condensed income statement information for the year ended December 31st, 2019. Income before discontinued operations, loss from discontinued operations, net income. Lion declared dividends of $6,000 on preferred stock and $7,280 on common stock. At the beginning of 2019, 10,000 shares of common stock were outstanding. May 1st, 2019, the company issued 2,000 additional common shares. On October 31st, 2019, it issued a 20% stock dividend on its common stock. The preferred stock is not convertible. Compute the 2019 basic earnings per share. So in this case, we're going to have to use the weighted average to determine the number of shares since we started out with 10,000 and then issued more throughout the year. And so we can create a little chart to help us with that. And we'll start with January through April. And so also remember that this 20% stock dividend, because that stock dividend it did not affect the company's assets, the company is going to give retroactive recognition. And so for this January to April, we're going to have the 10,000 shares that we had at the beginning of the year here times that 1.2%. And then we can calculate the portion of the year. So it was 4 months. We could say 4 divided by 12. And then multiply those together for 4,000. Then we have May through October 31st. And again, same thing. Now we have 10,000 plus 2,000, and we have to retroactively apply the 20%. So we'll say it's equal to the 12,000 times, well, I guess we shouldn't reference that 12,000 because that's the original 10 with our retroactive. So we'll say 10,000 plus our 2,000 times our 1.2% for 14,400. And this is May through October, so we're looking at 6 months. For 7,200. Then we have November through December, and this is where the 20% stock dividend is actually being applied. And so we'll have the 12,000 shares that are currently outstanding times the 1.2%, and then we're looking at 2 months out of 12. And now we can do a sum here. And so we have a weighted average shares outstanding for the year of 13,600. And so now we're ready to do our calculation of earnings per share, but we have to remember that we need to subtract out the 6,000 preferred dividends out of this net income. So down here I'll just say equals our 2776 minus 6,000. Oops, I did a divided by. Minus, that looks better. Okay, and now for our actual earnings per share, we can take that income and divide it by our weighted average outstanding shares for $1.60. So make that bold. And now down here it's saying show the 2019 income statement disclosure of basic earnings per share. And so for income before discontinued operations, we would take that 29,936, subtract out the 6,000 dividends to preferred stockholders, and then divide it by this weighted average outstanding shares that we calculated for $1.76. Then we can do the same thing for the loss. divide that by our 13,600 shares, and then we can add these together and come back to that same $1.60 earnings per share that we had calculated for net income in the previous part of the problem.